Hi, this is Tom Jacobs, astrologer, medium, and channel. Find me on the web at TomJacobs.com. This is the next in a video series about the end of the Mayan calendar that we're experiencing right now, the invitation to evolve consciousness. And what I'm going to talk about today is why I focus on the individual so much. Because we all have this awareness that the end of the Mayan calendar is ending. We all have this awareness that structures are crumbling. Weather events happen that affect great numbers of people, including, it sounds like, 3 relatively minor earthquakes yesterday even. And sometimes I get requests from people to ask Djehuty, the Ascended Master that I channel and work with, if he'll talk about mass trends, or if he'll talk about how the collective is being affected, or the earth itself. And sometimes I get that request through the meetup group I run, Shift, here in Tucson, or also just over email from people who are aware of the channeling or have called into the monthly calls to hear Djehuty, or have bought the recordings or read the books that I offer of him, through me. And so I want to talk today about why I focus so much on the individual, because it seems kind of counterintuitive. To do a really great public service about 2012, why would he only talk about individuals? What is the collective? Because what I want to talk about a little bit is the shift from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. For about 2100 years we've been in the Piscean age. And the method of Pisces is to go with the flow, is to open up and or to merge with what's happening around you. So we have a certain kind of existing mindset and set of MOs about thinking on the collective scale. That's just what we do. And now we even have the mass media from the last dozens, 100 years, obviously growing over several centuries with printed media and now the technology that allows us to do things like this, the camera technology and broadcasting and TV receiving technologies. And so we have been cultivating in different ways a group mind and a group awareness. And that is wonderful for the Piscean age. That is fantastic Piscean age evolution. But now we're at the end of the Piscean age. There are people who are going to argue, or have different opinions at least, about when the Piscean age ends and the Aquarian age begins. And I don't get into that. What I do is I live as though I'm in the Aquarian age now, or I seek to anyway. And so if in the Piscean age we seek to get along with the flow that's around us, when we live in the Aquarian age, we take responsibility for ourselves as individuals. Aquarian energy is all about breaking away from the group in order to do something original. We think that it's about a group consciousness, but what has to happen first, because if you're familiar with the archetype in astrology, the 11th house is a house of groups and friends, and so it seems to us that, which the 11th house is associated with Uranus and Aquarius, and it seems that we need to be with others in the Aquarian archetype. What we need to do is make sure they're the right people for us, which means that we have to make sure we know exactly who we are. So one of the reasons that I focus on the individual when talking about all this stuff is that I'm pretending that I live in the Aquarian age now, and I'm pretending that you are too. And the people who vibrate in such a way that they get to me, they get to my site, my work, my blog, any of these books, these videos, those people are ready to hear this perspective too. So one of the reasons is I want the focus to be on you, how you live, what you think, what you believe, what you need, who you think you are, who you think you're supposed to be. That's one of my focuses, because I want to train you how to live in the Aquarian age now. Whether it's a month away, 3 months away, or years away, it doesn't matter. The Aquarian age mindset needs to be seeded here and now. The second reason why, in this work with Djehuty, channeling him and doing all this writing work and channeling work about 2012, and also work with individuals, like why it's all individual. From Djehuty's perspective, each human is a sliver of the divine, a portion of divine intelligence, or all that is, or divine source, or God, goddess, whatever name for deity you want to use, that each individual is a portion of it. Djehuty's commitment is to the unfolding of the divine plan, the perfection of the divine plan. And when he talks about that, he capitalizes divine plan, capital D, capital P. And what that is that is what we're living here. It's also called the manifestation experiment. And it is that when we as divine source, divine intelligence, all that is, when we are all together in one big, conscious blob, we can't know it ourselves. It can't know itself. We can't know ourselves. And so the plan, the divine plan, is to split off into small pieces, which is you, which is me, and all the dogs and cats and horses and animals and cockroaches and everybody. Portions of it to come to experience the perception of being separate from the others, to forget our divinity, and then ultimately to remember while we're embodied, because there's a special opportunity that comes with being an energetic being in a physical body, which is what we are. So Djehuty's commitment is to the perfection of this divine plan, which is each of us, each human, remembering our true nature, remembering who we really are. So in each of these 4-channel books that I brought through from Djehuty, the first is Approaching Love, the second is Understanding Loss and Death, the third is Goddess Past, Present, and Future, and the fourth one, which I released last week or 10 days ago, is called Conscious Revolution, Tools for 2012 and Beyond. In each of those books, Djehuty focuses on teaching us how we are divine beings, teaching us what we need to know in order to evolve consciousness, in order to perfect the divine plan. So his focus is on the individual for a very particular reason, and it is that you are divine source, that you are a divine being, you are all that is, but you have forgotten it. So your soul, the portion of divine intelligence that you are, has come here to erupt into space-time and be in one of these meat suits, and with the intention to forget who it really is. Well, here we are. I'm trying to help you remember who you really are. Djehuty is helping you remember who you really are. And that's the function of these 4 books, and also all the MP3s that I've channeled from him. If you're interested in those, check out my site at TomJacobs.com. Each of the books is available in paperback, and also through Amazon and Kindle, and also as an ebook through me, a PDF. And these are incredibly important tools for shifting consciousness, shifting awareness, raising awareness, and moving into this way of experiencing the self that seeds the Aquarian age here and now. I don't, one other thing about this focus on the individual versus the collective, I want to say in terms of the Piscean age and what Djehuty has to say about all this, is that it might be easy to think that when we shift into the Aquarian age and when we get through this Mayan calendar business, which ends at the end of October this year, that everything's great, that we'll all be happy or psychic or finally fulfilled or clear about what we're doing here. And there's a real emphasis in everything that Djehuty offers and everything that I can sense and smell and feel in people and me, and that I can sense and smell coming. That the focus needs to be on the individual in order that the individual figures out what exactly he or she wants, who he or she is, what is desired, what the person intends, because there is an incredible emphasis right now on coming out of disempowerment. So when we look around at the fabric of consensus social reality of which we are a part, meaning when I turn on the news, when I pick up a newspaper, when we find ourselves in that context, we are now invited to recognize that we have given away power, given away attention, given away basically the structural integrity of our conscious awareness to everything around us. And like I said, that is great Piscean age work. But now we're at this place where we have to take our energy back. There's going to be another, at least 1 or maybe 100 videos on the Occupy Wall Street thing, because that's a fantastic illustration for different reasons of what's going on here. In the meantime, you can go to my site to find a channeling from Djehuty from a week or 10 days ago about that. It's linked from my front page right now, but it's also on the articles page. And I include the written channeling and the MP3, which I think is 17 or 18 minutes. So check that out if you're interested in that. I think it's an extremely important perspective on what's really happening with this, given everybody's kind of up in arms and either angry or freaking out or confused. So the focus needs to be on the individual, so the individual needs to understand how to unplug from this mass consensus reality that is a Piscean age construct. So this is another reason why we focus on the individual. So I think that's it for this one. My name is Tom Jacobs. Thanks for watching. I've gotten some great comments on the other videos I've posted in the last couple weeks, and I appreciate that from each of you. Those of you who've done that, thank you. Find me on the web at tdjacobs.com, including 4 channeled books from Djehuty and numerous MP3s of channeling him, including a number of them from the summer when I went on a tour on my motorcycle up the West Coast and did a bunch of channeling on the Goddess as a part of releasing the Goddess Past, Present, and Future book. Okay, see you later.